Welcome to a special edition of the Horror Movie Club. Now, usually we do this on Saturday nights with a little bit more of a crowd, but two reasons why I'm doing one today on Black Friday. One, I have a seasonally appropriate horror movie that I'd like to share. Two, I'm still in the testing phase for this new phone I will be using to film Into the Abyss. We have a new shoot tomorrow night, and I want to make sure I've got all the bugs worked out as far as extended filming. So anyway, I would like to take the moment to share with you the cinematic gem that is Thankskilling. Anyway, I'm sure some of you have already seen this movie. Me, I've seen this movie floating around for several years, but have never really had the chance to watch nor the motivation. However, last night as I was relaxing after a nice Thanksgiving day where thankfully my turkey didn't try to kill me. Anyway, I saw on Vudu that Thankskilling, and Thankskilling 3, by the way, was free. So I thought to myself, why not? I'm glad I did. So, Thankskilling is one of those movies that is so bad, it's good. The first movie the Saturday Night Horror Movie Club watched was The Barn. And as you may have seen, there were rather mixed reviews. The interesting takeaway is that while reviewer Tom McDonough felt like the movie didn't try at all, my take was it tried too much. And it tried to be bigger than it really was. Thankfully, Thankskilling doesn't worry about that at all. It's one of those movies that it's obviously made by fans and lovers of the horror genre, people also with a good sense of tongue-in-cheek, and it's really actually one of those movies, if you sit back and watch it, you really realize the creators of this movie have a appreciation for the horror genre. It has so many stereotypical elements that you have to assume that this is intentional. 5 friends from college. The jock, his good girl girlfriend, the sleazy girl who's trying to get him, the fat stoner guy who just wants to eat, and the nerd all go home for Thanksgiving. On the way home, their car breaks down and they have to camp out, conveniently, on the spot of a massacre that happened 500 years ago when Native Americans cursed a turkey and turned it into a demon to kill all white people in vengeance for crimes against Native Americans. So already all the tropes are there. The typical horror group of kids, Indian curse, cursed ground. And they're clearly poking fun at the whole scenario. And it's one of those movies where there's no surprises here. There's an incantation to help them kill the turkey. There's a book with information telling them exactly how to do it. They even accidentally at the end kill the turkey wrong, and he gets tossed into a garbage can that also happens to be apparently full of radioactive waste that brings him back as a zombie turkey. All of these things clear as they're watching Return of the Living Dead. After the whole thing's, they think the whole thing's over and he's getting irradiated and brought back to life. And the whole thing is very unlike The Barn, where The Barn was a low-budget production that was earnestly trying to be something more than it was. Thankskilling is not trying to do any of that. It has no pretenses. It knows exactly what it is. And in some ways it also pokes fun at all of the little plot holes that you see in horror movies. You're like, how can those guys be so oblivious? How can they not know about that danger that's sitting right in front of them? My favorite and probably the most absurd part of the movie is when the turkey shows up dressed as a person at the home of the good girl's dad, who's of course the idiot town sheriff. And he's got a pair of fake glasses on, and that's it. And the sheriff dad just has no idea that it's a turkey, just thinks he's a short person. So then the turkey kills the sheriff dad, rips his face off, and sews it together. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, anyone? And where's it? And then answers the door when the kids show up. And of course, they have no idea why dad is suddenly shorter and why it looks like his face has been sewn together. Which again is ridiculous, but it's probably poking fun, I think anyway, poking fun at all those little plot holes we see in horror movies all the time. Anyway, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving yesterday, and today, as you're working off your turkey coma, if you're free and you want a good laugh, I do have to offer this caveat. There are some sexually over-the-top things in this movie, because apparently demonic serial killing turkeys are also a little randy. So be careful not to watch this in the wrong company. But if you want a really good chuckle about a movie that's not trying to be anything more than it is, then I would recommend Thankskilling. I hope everyone had a good holiday and enjoy your Black Friday shopping.